Welcome everybody to the final episode of Universe Mode here on WWE 2k22. It is Clash of Champions, as tonight championships will be unified as we bring the NXT UK brand to a close and get ready for a new era of NXT. Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Rob. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight, as we got a pretty stacked show, 6 matches. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we're going to start off with a huge, the only non-title clash on tonight, as Tyler Bate makes his way to the ring. It's going to be a matchup of first ever champions. But I hope you guys are ready. If you are, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more WWE 2k23 content. This is the last ever video on 2k22, so we also bring the end of our own era here on the channel. Also, if you're interested in buying some Rogue Energy, you can use my code Mr. Rob and the referral link down below to receive 10% off your purchase. So a lot of win-wins for you guys tonight. Is speaking of wins, this is one guy who's looking to pick up what would be a humongous win here tonight. The first ever United Kingdom champion in WWE history. He was 19 years old when he won that. But tonight he's got to go up against the first ever NXT champion. An appearance of Seth freaking Rollins here tonight. The Visionary is in NXT for Clash of Champions. He was the first ever NXT champion 20 years ago. 2 decades since Seth freaking Rollins wore the gold and black title for the first time. And what a career Seth has put together. Multi-time world champion, intercontinental champion, United States champion, tag champ. This guy has done it all in the WWE, and for one night only, he brings his talents back to where it began, in Orlando, Florida. And this should be a good one. No titles on the line, just bragging rights. As we get ready, and the crowd sings the battle hymn of Seth freaking Rollins, who's put together a pretty decent year to say the least for himself. But we'll turn it to that in just a moment's time as we burn it down here in Orlando, Florida. It's ready to go here for this one. Tyler Bate versus Seth freaking Rollins, the first match of the night. And we are ready to go. Let's get this one started. Maybe in the center of the ring is Tyler Bate, who gets the early advantage, whips Rollins into the far turnbuckle, and it looks like Tyler Bate is looking to set the pace here with his turnbuckle shot to the head. Nice chop for good measure. 6 matches are on tonight's show. Next, we'll also have the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships online, as well as every other championship being unified. We'll see the European and the North American Championships unified, the Tag Champs, the Women's Championships, as well as the NXT and United Kingdom Championships all be unified here tonight. As Bates going to go for the first cover in this contest. He only gets a 1 count, but a lot of action to unfold. As like we said, NXT UK will come to a close tonight. They will relaunch sometime in the future. We know it'll be NXT Europe, but until then, it'll be one single entity. As kick midsection here for Tyler Bate, has a hold of Rollins, hits him with a nice brainbuster, floats into the cover. Bate putting a lot of pressure here on Rollins in the early going, gets a 2 count. Well, on paper, Seth Rollins is, you would think, has the experience and everything in this contest, but it's been all Tyler Bate in the early going. Seth maybe doing a little bit of overlooking his competitor here tonight, as Seth currently is a member of the SmackDown roster, and he is pretty embroiled in a feud with Kevin Owens, his former friend turned enemy, as Rollins rolls through with a nice kick right on the button. They have not had their issues or not seen eye to eye in recent times. Rollins says that Kevin Owens is the reason why he cannot win the WWE Championship a couple months ago at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And ever since then, those two have been on a collision course. We've seen the attacks during, after matches, before matches, you name it. They have gone toe-to-toe. As Rollins here goes for a cover, he gets a 1 count. Seth also had a shot at the Universal Championship earlier this year at the Royal Rumble. He was unsuccessful on that night, but Seth's not all been on the loss category. He did beat Cody back at Hell in a Cell inside that Hell in a Cell match that really propelled Seth Rollins. We have not seen Cody Rhodes since. Rollins put him on the shelf. As here's a nice airplane spin here from Tyler Bate. Don't see a lot of these anymore, as As Bate makes himself maybe a little bit dizzy. He's actually going to go the other way. So a little reverse airplane spin. Seth Rollins goes around and around and around, and then just gets dropped for good measure. As you can see, Tyler Bate even finding it hard for himself to stand. As the NXT UK competitor is really taking it to Seth Rollins. Former NXT UK Tag Team Champion as well as an NXT Tag Team Champion. So Tyler Bate very much a tag competitor. It's been a while since we've really seen Tyler Bate in competitive singles competition. He's been rocking with his former Mustache Mountain Tag Team. That is no more, as Tyler Bate, what a statement would be to get back in the singles division. Then making Seth Rollins step out right here, but Rollins is going to pull the leg out from underneath his opponent and look to get back on track, but Bate went low. Nice shot to the body. Backs Rollins up against the ropes, who has to hit a back elbow of his own. Try to create some space, and Rollins will drop the knee. That'll hopefully give him a little bit of separation as Rollins going to the corner, maybe thinking something here. He's going to try to line up for that back kick behind the head. Bate staggered a little bit, drops to a knee. Rollins lining him up, and Bate playing a little bit of possum. Suckered Rollins in, now from behind. Nice back suplex. Drops high across the back of the shoulder blades, does go Rollins. And Tyler Bate suckered in the veteran. Bate looking like he is the 2-decade-long performer here in the WWE, not Rollins. And Rollins now knees to the midsection. Bate again against the ropes, another knee for good measure. And Seth Rollins now trying to slow down the pace and really take advantage here. Ground the much more energetic opponent. As now Rollins up to the top rope. What's he thinking here? He's thinking frog splash, and he connects. Frog splash onto Bate. And Rollins going to apply some pressure here. Try to go for the cover. Forearm across the face. And only gets a 1 count before Bate is able to kick out. It was a long one, but a 1 count nonetheless. But Rollins maybe signaling that it's time to really focus in on this competition. I feel like Rollins has taken Tyler Bate a little lightly. You can't do that, especially here in the WWE against anybody, as there's a DDT. Rollins really starts to stamp his hold on this matchup. Combination of strikes that drops Bate. That kick into the midsection really put it hurting on him. As Rollins seems to be honing in on that methodical offensive that he likes to employ. He gets Bate back to his fake kick to the midsection. Goes for another DDT, but this time Bate's going to flip through. He's going to take down Rollins. And Bate now kick to the midsection. He keeps thinking this power bomb, this modified double under power bomb, and he gets it. Gets 2. Rollins in a lot of trouble here. Has to kick out at 2.5. Tyler Bate almost had Rollins there. And Bate now, nice suplex. Tyler Bate now really starting to get an upper hand, but now Rollins kick to the midsection. That's going to back him up a little bit. And now another shot to the body. And now Bate more on the offensive. Gets set. Another snap suplex. Takes down the Visionary. And again, Bate is holding his own. It's 1 step ahead of Rollins. 1 step ahead of the Architect. That's not easy to do. Now with a hold of Rollins. Props him against the ropes. So Tyler Bate got in mind here. He's going to send Rollins to the outside. Rollins crashed into the floor. And now Bate's in the ring. Could be lining up Rollins here. He's thinking about it. Going to hit the ropes, thinking suicide dive, and no, Rollins catches him right at the ropes. A big right hand stops Bate in his tracks, and now Rollins quickly thinking up to the top rope. Bate tries to roll out the way, but Rollins drops the elbow across the spine anyway. And now Seth thinking the stomp here, kick to the midsection, goes for it, and Bate catches him with a cutter. Tyler Bate counters the stomp. And now Bate up on the top rope thinking 450 splash. It connects. A 450 down on Rollins. Little shades of WrestleMania 31 there. Is now Bate trying to go for the win, but no, Seth is able to back power out. Well, it's easy to say that Tyler Bate has been doing his homework. He's been ready for this contest. He hasn't overlooked his competitor here tonight. Instead, he is taking it to him, stepping up to the plate. This is what it's all about. This is what happens when you get the 2 of the very best to go at it, too. And no, Rollins again is forced to kick out at 2.5. What's it going to take, though, for Bate to put away Rollins? He's going to think another And standing moonsault, and he connects, goes quickly into the cover, trying to apply more pressure. This time only gets a 1, but it forces Seth to exuberate some energy. Rollins has to kick out, and now Bate going to take advantage again, perched up on the top turnbuckle, and he drives his own elbow into the spine. Tyler Bate, if you didn't know who he was, now you do. I don't think Seth will ever forget him. Speaking of Seth, he sends Bate up over the top rope, hangs on the apron. Nice sharp right hand, though. And another one drops Bate off the apron, tumbles to the floor, and Seth going to relish in his work, but it hasn't come easy so far. I don't know if I'd do that if I were you, Seth. Now he's going to try to follow him to the outside, but he gets caught. Seth wastes a little bit too much time in the ring, and Bate dumps him into the steel steps for good measure. And now it's the Bate who's the one standing tall, controlling the ground of the ring. He's going to slide to the outside. Thought baseball slide, but Rollins connects him. Beautiful counter there, and he's going to send Bate back inside the ring. And now Seth wisely baited his opponent into making a mistake, and he connects with a huge hammer fist right across the top of the head. And goes for that knee drop, but he is unable to connect. Bate rolls out the way again. Both competitors countering each other really well here in this contest. Is now underhook, knee into the gut again. Rollins on his feet, just like a cat, up to the top rope this time, wanting Bate to get to his feet, trying to line him up for a crossbody, and he connects. Diving crossbody by Rollins into the cover now to get 2, and Bate is this time has to kick out at 2.5, and Seth Rollins showing a little bit of frustration here. Hasn't been able to put Bate away. He's going to line him up for this kick again. Was unable to connect on it the first time. It is the second time the charm is Insecurity to the back of the neck. Down goes Bate, and Seth Rollins now. Could be only a matter of time before he gets the win. He's going to think actually stomp here. Goes for the stomp, and again Bate counters with the cutter. Tyler Bate for a second time in this match. Rollins tried not to telegraph it as much, and now he gets caught out. Bate playing some more possum, now has the reverse Boston Crab applied. Will Seth Rollins tap? No, he's going to fight out of it again. But Rollins scratching and clawing in this one. Now just repeated head strikes. This will take definitely a toll on your balance. And as a DDT for good measure. What a match. We've been in for a treat to start this one. Seth Rollins continue to take control, stomping away on Tyler Bate. But what is one superstar at this point got to do to the other to put him away? Rollins is going to drop the knee. This time he is successful on that knee drop. Of Bate already right back to his feet. Kick to the midsection. Now going to set him up for that double underhook powerbomb again. The double underhook powerbomb. Seth Rollins in a lot of trouble here too. And now kicks out again. That second double underhook powerbomb out of nowhere connects. But Tyler Bate still unable to put the Visionary away. What a match it has been to start off our show here tonight. Bate and Rollins, first ever NXT United Kingdom champions, going head to head. As there's a nice package brainbuster by Tyler Bate, as he has been every bit in control. He has looked just like the equal of Seth Rollins in this match. I would say Bates actually controlled the majority of this contest. Seth Rollins gets his arm caught up by Bate. Now Tyler gonna put some more pressure, knee into the spine, chin lock applied. It's Tyler Bate, nope, can't get Rollins to submit. He's gonna slip out, and now Rollins with a chance to gain control, just lighting up the chest of Bate, and there's a nice snap German suplex. The quickness of that rotation by Seth is now he goes for the sharp knee into the side of the temple. I thought he was going for the stomp for a second, but the stomp has not been successful for Rollins here tonight. We've already seen him try it twice. He has yet to connect with that maneuver. As there's a nice face buster though, and now Rollins is going to go to the corner, maybe thinking that Insecurity to the back of the neck. Face buster staggered Bate. He's in position. Rollins floats through. Insecurity to the back of the neck. Down goes Tyler Bate. Is that enough to win this match for Seth Rollins? He gets 1. He gets 2. And no! Tyler Bate kicks out again. And this match continues. The heart on displayed by Tyler Bate as there's a kick to the midsection caught by Bate. Maybe trying to set him up for that stomp. There's a nice snap suplex now. has Tyler in control, and quickly he's going to go to the top rope. Rollins is down to the far maneuver, and he hits with a spiral tap onto Rollins. Where did that come from? It gets 2, but Rollins does kick out just in the nick of the time. But Tyler Bate, pulling all of the tricks out of the bag, realizes that this is a huge moment for him. He's going to do everything in order to beat Rollins, who, again, gets back to his feet. Oh, he caught Bate there. I think Bate was trying to go for something. Instead, he gets met with a nice German or suplex there. And it's Seth Rollins back in control, lining him up for that ripcord knee. Another ripcord knee. That has landed flush plenty of times this match, but Rollins not done. He's going to go for a second ripcord knee. Consecutive shots to the face, but Bate has his foot underneath the rope, so Seth Rollins was unable to pick up the victory there. He's now just going to work away on the arm. Rollins trying to get himself fired up. The fans here in attendance realize how special of a match this has been. There's another knee drop by Rollins across the forehead of his challenger. And now going to go for a chin lock, but again, Bate does have a foot underneath the ropes. This has to break the hold. And Rollins could be planning his next shot. Looks like he's going to go up to the top rope here. Is he going to go for a frog splash? No, he's going to go for that elbow drop. Elbow to the chest, though. Driving the breath out of Bate here. And now Rollins with a hold of his opponent. Nice Falcon Arrow applied. Rollins starting to build some momentum here. Another face buster for good measure. Big time maneuvers here by Seth, who's trying to close this one out, but has been unable to do so far. Bate up on his shoulders, and a couple of elbows to the side of the temple. That'll get him down. Another shot to the body. Bate's done a very good job of going high and low, mixing up his combinations tonight. Rollins has been able to read those strike combinations. I think he needs to tap into that a little bit more. He's now trying to size up his next maneuver. He's going to go to the legs this time. Realizes that the arm strategy has not fully worked to the best of his tonight, so maybe target a little bit of a different body part, but Rollins does shrug off Bate. Now going to go to the corner, trying to think another shot to the back of the neck. How many more of these can Tyler take? He's down to a knee. Rollins flips through, but no, this time Bate slips out. Boom, he gets met with the back elbow. So Rollins does maintain control, but he might have avoided disaster, but instead gets met with a super kick that spins him in circles right on the button. And Rollins doing a very good job of still maintaining control of this contest. There's now just sharp right hand fist to the side. Seth in for himself a fight here tonight. I don't know if he was fully expecting this one. He wasn't at Clash at the Castle, which was a huge success. So right now Rollins going to go for a pin, only gets a 1 count. Instead, he was preparing for this matchup. So, but it has not come easy. Rolls through, lines him up with a big super kick down on the button. And Rollins again going to try to drop the knee, and he does. So Seth building a very good pace for him in this matchup. Hasn't allowed Bate to get a lot of offense, but right as I say that, he misses the standing moonsault. This could be the opening that Tyler needs to get back in this contest. He's going to try to take advantage. Going to try to set him up for this reverse Boston Crab again. Again, the submission applied. Will Rollins tap out? No, he's going to pull the leg. He does get out of the hold. Bate there, kick to the midsection. Another one for good measure. Another double underhook powerbomb. It does. It's the third time the charm. Is Bate going to win this match? No. Rollins again kicks out. Tyler Bate has thrown his best shot at Rollins on multiple occasions and has been unable to pick up the victory. You gotta think some frustration could be creeping in the mind of the first ever United Kingdom champion. As now Rollins with a quick cover, just trying to apply some pressure and try to get back in control. He does get a 2 count though. This match has been going on for quite some time, but we might be getting towards the end. Gonna go for the stomp, and this time the stomp connects. Rollins finally hits the stomp. It's over. Head driven into the mat. Bates done a very good job of avoiding it. But Rollins into the cover. Gets 1. Gets 2. And no! Are you kidding me? Bate gets the shoulder up. Seth has tried time and time again to hit that stomp. And he's been unable to do so when he finally connects. Tyler Bate still kicks out. This man has the heart of a champion, but gets met with a big elbow drop for good measure. This one's still not over, as Tyler has done the hard part. He's kicked out of the stomp. He's now going to try to find a way back into this contest, as Seth has really started to dominate in and flips Tyler through face first into the corner he goes. And now Rollins is going to go into the far corner. He's going to think another one of these insecurities. And I don't know how many more shots to the back of the neck Bate can take. He did a good job avoiding it last time, but can't avoid this one. Right into the back of the neck. Into the cover goes Seth to put away. Tyler gets one, gets two. And yes, that'll be it. Tyler Bate goes down to Seth freaking Rollins. But what an opening match that was. These two put on an absolute classic for close to 20 minutes. But it is Seth Rollins who walks away the victor. But make no mistake about it, Tyler Bate showed how much of a star he really can be. He took the best shot on multiple occasions, including the stomp from Rollins, before finally falling to the Visionary. But Rollins makes a stop here in NXT, puts on an absolute classic. Did you expect anything less? The crowd singing his hymn as he gets to celebrate his win here tonight. But hold on a second. From behind, that's Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is here. And we talked about earlier the issues that him and Seth have had. Friends turned rivals. Kevin Owens, also a former NXT champion, returning to NXT tonight to lay waste to his bitter rival. He gets Rollins back up to his feet. Connects with a stunner. Down goes Rollins. As Kevin Owens saying we're not through. He wants his hands on Seth Rollins. These two are on a collision course sometime in the future, and there's a second stunner for good measure. Kevin Owens lays out the Visionary. The fans in NXT celebrate the former NXT champion. Well, we've only been through one match tonight, and what a start to this show it's been. An all-time classic here on the channel between Tyler Bate and Seth freaking Rollins. Congrats to Rollins. And it was always nice seeing Kevin Owens make another appearance in NXT. But now it's time to get to the championship matches. The first of what will be 5 championships decided here tonight. And it's making her way to the ring first. This will be the only championship that is not being unified as the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships that is up next. And here comes one half of the champions, as it'll be the team of Valentina Feroz and Yulisa Leon making it for a chance at the tag titles. An up-and-coming team here in NXT. As here comes Yulisa Leon, the other half of this dynamic duo. They've been in NXT UK, a couple of matches here and there, but have looked pretty good in the opportunities they've gotten, so why not give them an opportunity at the championship tonight. It's supposed to be NXT 2.0 versus NXT UK. Well, they've been the best that's on the UK brand, so it only makes sense that they would get the next title shot. And they're taking on the champs, who have not been champs for all that long. As Yulisa Leon, very dynamic performer all the way from Mexico. Brought her talents here to the WWE. And we'd love to see what is up next for this young lady. As making her way to the ring first for the champions, here comes Cora Jade, who finally won gold here with her best friend Roxanne Perez. And it's been a great journey to watch them get to this point. And I'm excited to see what's next. But they got to defend their titles here tonight. Excuse me, my throat's a little raspy today. Hope you guys have had yourselves a good weekend so far and are ready for Easter tomorrow. But Cora Jade, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. They're able to knock off Toxic Attraction not too long ago to end their reign of terror here in NXT. They're ready for all challengers, as here comes her tag team partner, the newbie to the brand. But what an impact she has made in a short period of time. It is Roxanne Perez. Jade and Perez, the tag team. Roxanne Perez, one of the newcomers this year in NXT. We call her the breakout, the prodigy, because only 21 years of age. Perez already here, already holding a championship. She has such a bright future ahead of her. And I cannot wait to watch that journey unfold. As now both champions are in the ring. It's time to send it down and get this one ready for the gold. The NXT Women's Tag Team Championships are coming up next. The only championship that will not be unified. As we headed down to the ring for introductions. Here's things first, the challengers, the team of Valentina Feroz and Yulissa Leon. And their opponents, they are the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. All the titles handed over to the referees. That only means one thing. That means the championship is about to be decided. Who will walk out of here with the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions? Will it be new up-and-comers for the challengers, or will it be the champions to retain? We're about to find out as here we go. Clash of Champions, our first championship encounter. Cora Jade and Valentina Feroz will start off for their respective tag teams. And real quickly, it's Valentina Feroz who gets an upper hand as there's a flatliner down to Cora. I'd love to see this young team take it to the champs here tonight. We don't know much about them, so this is a really good showcase opportunity for Feroz and Leon. We saw them pick up a win on NXT UK this past week to kind of qualify themselves for this opportunity in what was a de facto #1 contenders match. As now here comes Yulissa Leon. Feroz will be able to do a little bit of damage. And now Leon's going to try to do a little bit of her own as there's a nice standing moonsault. Now going to go for the first cover of the contest on Jay, but Jane quickly able to kick out. Maybe not trying to go for the win, so to speak, but just kind of set the tone for the match, saying, hey, I can get your shoulders to the mat. This will not be an easy one for the champs, as now Feroz checks back in. Cora Jade, nice duck on the kick, but nice connection on the follow-through by Feroz. And a good job not allowing the tag to happen, as Cora Jade isolated so far in the early going of this contest. She's going to get sent against the ropes by Feroz, and there's a nice Spanish fly. How about that? Into the standing shooting star press. Valentina Feroz came to fight here tonight. As Cora Jade on the receiving end of this offense has not been able to get out of the blocks, has not been able to even make a tag. And speaking of tags, Yulissa Leon will check back in for her team. Jade quickly back to her feet. Catches Leon out. Now going to try to isolate one challenger into her own corner. Now it's time for the champions to go to work as Jade slams her head first into the turnbuckle. And now tying up the left arm, isolating the challengers, doing what is textbook tag team offense. As now Jade off the ropes. Nice bulldog there. As Cora Jade finally able to stop this onslaught. Now going to go for a quick cover here. Gets one, gets two, and get a kick out by the challengers. And now Roxanne Perez has tagged her way back in. She's met, though, by Feroz, who's going to hit the ropes, but Perez able to catch her on the other side. Ties her up from behind. Reverse DDT takes down Feroz. And now Roxanne Perez now into this contest. Off to a very hot start. She's going to quickly tag in Jade. Now Cora will check back in to the contest. She can get Feroz back to her feet. And jawbreaker for good measure. The champ's starting to dominate. This is where the challengers are really going to get tested. Are they ready for this opportunity? They got off to a great start, but now you're starting to face some adversity. What will happen? Jade tags out to Perez. As it looks like Feroz is trying to end up making it to her corner. It's a long way to go, and Perez is right there to cut it off. Just going to stomp on that right hand and an elbow to the back of the neck for good measure. This does not look good for the challengers. Locked in, reverse camel clutch. Perez center of the ring. Jade here as well to take out Leon on the outside. Shoulder block takedown. So now it's all up to Feroz. Doesn't have a tag team partner to tag, and she's on the receiving end of some offense here. As Perez going to roll over, going to go for the pin here. After that camel clutch, gets one, gets two, and that just took the fight out of her. Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez retain the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships here tonight. Well, the challengers, they got off to a pretty solid start. I thought they were looking very good in the early going, but it was just a little bit of adversity from the champions that paved the way for their victory. Once Jade and Perez were able to get out of the box, once Cora Jade was actually able to muster up a little bit of offense, it was all champions. So big title defense here for Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. They're able to retain their NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Not sure what's next for them, but they're able to celebrate tonight as our first championship match is decided, and it goes the way of NXT 2.0. Well, now it's time for the next half of the show, which is going to see champions versus champions. We're about to unify some titles, and we're going to start off here making his way to the ring. First, he is the European champion, Carmelo Hayes, as he will get ready to unify that title with the North American Championship. Carmelo Hayes won that title back in June at the Worlds Collide pay-per-view. He was able to take it off of Noam Dar, and Carmelo Hayes has been quite a European champion. I never thought I'd say those words, but on this past episode of NXT was able to retain that championship against Noam Dar to solidify himself in this matchup. But Carmelo Hayes, he's taken a different route with the European Championship. He's been very respectable, and he has absolutely no love for his opponent here tonight, who is the North American Champion. It is none other than the loudmouth Aussie himself, Grayson Waller, is making his way to the ring. Waller, the North American Champion, able to beat the former champion Cameron Grimes for that title. And he's made life for Grimes and Hayes pretty much a living hell since that point. Waller targeted Grimes in the title. Hayes, who has a lot of history with Cameron Grimes, actually came to the defense of Cameron. So a little bit of respect there, which is kind of what's led us to this point. Waller and Hayes, not only just a championship clash, but a feud to say the least, as we're going to unify it and crown a North American champion. All of the NXT UK titles will be deactivated after tonight. But now it's time to figure out who will walk out with the NXT North American Championship. The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT North American Championship. And choosing first the challenger, Carmelo Hayes. And his opponent, he is the North American Champion, Grayson Waller. All the fans in Florida are cheering the UK champion. Carmelo Hayes has the crowd on his side. No love lost for the Australian Waller as you get ready to decide who will walk out of here, the unified North American champion. The first unified title match of the night. This one should be a good one. European champion Carmelo Hayes, North American champion Grayson Waller. Let's find out who is going to walk away victorious as Carmelo Hayes quickly gets this one started. He whips Waller into the corner. And looking to go to the outside. What's Hayes have in mind here? A nice springboard clothesline. Takes down the champ. The North American champ, I should say. Both these superstars walk into this contest as champions. Whoever wins this match will be the last European Championship title. Recently reactivated, is going back on the shelf. We get ready to see who stays North American champion to go along in the future. As right now Waller, big right hand shot across the forehead, but Hayes flips out the back door, kick to the midsection, and plants Waller with a nice DDT. Carmelo Hayes is the European champion, but he has a lot of history with that North American title. He was a former North American champion. He called himself the A-champ for quite some time in NXT. He was pretty dominant as North American champion. A lot of people say he was the best title holder on NXT. Got a little overzealous, though. Put the title on the line at a multi-man ladder match earlier this year at Stand and Deliver, where Cameron Grimes was able to climb the ladder. Carmelo Hayes' longtime rival, and walk away with the championship on that night. And Carmelo Hayes, you would think, a whole lot of grudge against Grimes, but actually he came to the defense of Cameron when Grayson Waller set his sights on that North American title. He cleared the ring of Waller, and the former rivals shaked hands, so a respectful feud between those two. And we've seen kind of Carmelo Hayes turn a new corner with this European Championship. Instead of taking the easy route, so to speak, he's been a champion into fighting. He's had to fend off attacks from Grayson Waller. He's been on the receiving end of beatdowns from Noam Dar. So Grayson Waller turning a little bit, well, actually, excuse me, Carmelo Hayes turning a little bit of a new leaf here, while Grayson Waller, on the other hand, he's been what you'd expect. He's talking, he's posting, he's going live on Instagram. He's just trying to win championships. Doesn't care what the fans think, as you can see right here, mocking a little bit of the great one, The Rock. And say, oh no, he doesn't hit people's elbow as Carmelo Hayes able to roll away and connects with a code breaker to the face. But regardless of what you think of Waller, love him or hate him, he's been very successful. He's backed up all the trash talk, beat Cameron Grimes for that North American Championship. He has to redefend the championship against Grimes. You have to think that he is waiting somewhere in the wings for the winner of this contest. Carmelo Hayes takes down Waller. Now trying to force his way onto that left knee. Goes back to it again. Targeting the lower body of the North American champion. And now getting a little bit of showboat for his own. Nothing's going to stop Carmelo Hayes from telling you how good he is, regardless of his new change in attitude. Still going to be brash. Still going to be confident. With a chop there. And now back to that left leg. Just stretching out the knee across the ropes there. And take the vertical base away from Waller. As there's a nice snap German suplex. Folds him almost in half. As you can see at ringside as well, Hayes' buddy Trick Williams cheering him on. He's stayed in Hayes' corner. Maybe that'll prove to be an advantage for the European champions. He backs Waller again into the corner. Gonna throw him at him and go for this slingshot clothesline again off the top rope, and he connects a second time. Nice springboard clothesline. Takes down Waller now quickly into the pin. It gets one, gets two, and almost gets a 3 count. But Waller is able to kick out. Grayson Waller. Actually, there's a float over DDT, and that plants Hayes right into an armbar. Left armbar applied by Carmelo. Will Grayson Waller tap out here? Ref in position to look. But Waller looks like he's going to hang in there. He's not going to tap. But Hayes not going to let up, slamming him into the mat. Carmelo Hayes starting to take control, trying to become a 2-time North American champion. Going for that scissors kick leg drop. He does across the back of the neck. Waller is down. This could crown a new champ, but Waller gets that left hand underneath the ropes, causes the rope break. I thought for a second could crown a new North American champion. Carmelo Hayes would love to get that title back. He never got a rematch for that championship in the first place. Always there's a rake to the eyes, but a kick for good measure for Waller. He's actually now going to hit the rebs, going to float over the top, and he drives knees into the back. Waller now with a chance to retain and unify the titles. Gets 2, but no, Hayes is able to shoot that left shoulder up. I was going to say Hayes never got a direct championship opportunity for that North American title. As there's a nice stunner. That could be it here. Waller stuns Hayes, takes him down. Is get 1, get 2, and no, left shoulder gets up. Waller connects with that stunner. Our Carmelo is able to stay alive in this contest, but Grayson Waller not going to take the time to tell you how good he is. You got to put away your opponent though first. Elbow drop for good measure into the sternum, driving the breath out of the ribs of the European champion. As Waller continues to taunt the NXT Universe. As Hayes back to his feet now, combination of strikes floats him over and a chop to the back, and now a kick to the chest for good measure. Waller now starting to take firm control of this contest. I thought Hayes was going to have it after that scissors kick. Waller able to connect with a stunner. That's really opened the door for him in this contest as a snapmare by Waller. Now we're just going to try to trap the leg of Hayes. Take away that part of his game. If you take away the legs of Carmelo, you take away that leg drop that he loves to hit. As Melo says, he shoots this shot. He doesn't miss. He's shooting a shot here tonight. But Waller goes for the big super kick. Hayes able to sidestep and now picks up the much larger Grayson Waller. Drives him spine first into the turnbuckle. Hayes showing a little bit of his own power there. This one a pretty back and forth contest like our opening one of the night. Put on a very good solid matchup between these two. Who will walk away the unified champ? Waller continuing to talk smack to the universe, saying, watch this, watch what I'm going to do to your hero. Gets him up to his feet, and there's a second stunner for good measure. Waller wasn't lying. A second stunner to Carmelo into the cover, gets 2, and no! Hayes kicks out. I thought for sure that was going to be 3. I was going to say Waller is still your North American champion. There's a big spine buster there on Hayes. Tried to catch him off guard, but Waller one step ahead. But Hayes, how about the heart? Kicks out of a second one of those stunners at the last second. Now firing back with a couple more strikes. He's backing up Waller. Gonna go for a suplex, and he does. Able to get Waller up and over. And now Carmelo Hayes starting to fire himself up. He wants more. Gets Waller back to his feet. Rolling elbow strike. Drops him. Hayes could be moments away now from closing in and winning back that title. Another snap German suplex. Takes down Waller. Hayes starting to roll. Gonna shoot the cover here. Gonna try it to put him away. Gets one. Gets two. And oh, Waller forced to kick out at the very last second. But Hayes kicked in the midsection here. He's going to go for another one of these scissor kick leg drops. And he connects. Another boot across the back of the neck. This could crown a new champ, but again, Waller has his arm underneath the ropes. Poor ring positioning by Hayes could cost him as Waller went for a big-time clothesline. Unable to connect, though. And this one rolls on. Who will get the upper hand? It's been back and forth so far. Hayes again targeting those legs, trying to take out the vertical base. But Waller back to his feet. Oh, a big boot across the eyes. And now Waller gonna head to the top rope. Hayes in the drop zone. And there's the big elbow across the back of the spine. The double under the leg elbow gets one, gets two, and Waller able to pick up the victory. Hayes, wrong place, wrong time. And Grayson Waller has unified the European Championship and the North American Championship. A big time match here, a big back and forth encounter. Both competitors brought their all to this one, but it wasn't enough. And we gotta listen to Grayson Waller tout now, as he can raise his hand knowing he is the North American champion and the last ever European champion. Grayson Waller, victorious. Well, the championship matches are going to continue because next up, we're going to crown the undisputed NXT Tag Team Champions. Here, coming to the ring first, it is the NXT UK Tag Team Champions in Gallus. Mark and Joe Coffey recently won the titles from Mustache Mountain on NXT UK, and, well, they've been in a little bit of a battle of superiority, as Gallus and Imperium will go on to face not once but twice here tonight, including our main event. So this is kind of a little bit of a first chance to build momentum for their respective leaders later on. But Gallus have been a pretty dominant group. They got to face the record-tying, three-time NXT Tag Team Champions. They are representing Imperium as Giovanni Vinci on your left, Ludwig Kaiser on your right. Won those titles back in May at the NXT In Your House TV special, and have done a very good job of defending those championships ever since. Nobody's been able to knock off this team as Imperium continues to dominate the NXT landscape. But this is a different side of Imperium in recent times. Imperium, we know what they've always been about. They said the match is sacred to them. They want to preserve the integrity of this great sport of wrestling. But in the past, they haven't really gone about that the right way. You know, they've still been cheating to win matches and using the numbers to their advantage. But ever since we've seen Gunther capture the NXT Championship, this group of Imperium has kind of actually lived up to those things. They've been integrity in the ring. They've preserved the match. That's why they're champions. So Imperium, a little bit of a new leaf for them as well, kind of like Carmelo Hayes earlier, as they continue to, hopefully for them, retain these NXT Tag Team Champions. And I know they would love to unify the NXT UK Tag Team titles with them, but more on that in just a second as we get ready for the ring. NXT United Kingdom Tag Team Championships will be deactivated, and we will crown the undisputed NXT Tag Team Champions in just a moment's time as we go down to the ring. Introducing first the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Mark and Joe Coffey of Gallus. And their opponents, they are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, the NXT Tag Team Champions. Battle of superiority up next. Who is the better tag team? Who is the better group in the landscape of NXT? We're about to find out as the NXT Tag Team titles are on the line. It is the Coffey Brothers of Gallus versus Kaiser and Vinci of Imperium. Up next here at Clash of Champions. As quickly it'll be the NXT UK Tag Team Champions who take in control. Well, this is actually not the first time we've seen these two teams go at it. We've actually saw Imperium take on Gallus in a 6-man contest back at the Worlds Collide pay-per-view just a few months ago in June. And it was Imperium who actually was successful on night. They won that 6-man tag team contest. But this is a new chapter of Gallus. I would love to get that win back and win the tag titles. Is Joe Coffey going to fight out from underneath of Ludwig Kaiser? He's going to prop him up against the ropes and turns him around, and just an elbow strike to the back. Another elbow strike into the back, working away on that backside of Kaiser. New names for these Imperium lads, but they are the same dominant tag team, as now Mark Coffey is going to go tag into the match. He will look to isolate Ludwig Kaiser, record-tying 3-time NXT Tag Team Champions. The only people to accomplish that feat is now Imperium and the Undisputed Era back in the day. So 2 dominant groups in the history of NXT. Gallus would love to add their name to those tag team titles history with the win here tonight. As now Kaiser with a hold of Mark, but Mark gonna fight out from underneath. As the Coffey brothers able to knock off Tyler Bates, who we saw earlier tonight, and Trent Seven of Mustache Mountain, as Kaiser gets dumped all the way to the outside. The power on display there of Mark Coffey just ragdolls him all the way down to the floor. And now just repeated punches to the head. He is continuing this onslaught on the outside, not giving Kaiser a chance to breathe. He went for an uppercut, but it got blocked by Mark. As now Gallus firmly taking control of this contest. As Kaiser gets sent across the outside area. Ref up to a count of 4. Mark's going to realize that, get back in the ring at a count of 5, and kind of establish his territory in front of Vinci too, showing that the Coffey brothers are firmly in control right now. Ref up to a count of 7 though, as Joe tags back in. Cannot, well, Countout does actually win you the titles here. This is a unification match, so it's win by any means necessary. Whoever walks away the winner is the unified champs, even if it is a countout or disqualification. But now Joe meets Kaiser, back in the ring, and gets planted though with a reverse DDT. Imperium looking to get back in control. Kaiser gets Joe back up to his feet, sends him up over the top rope. He's up on the apron, shot to the face, a nice drop kick. Sends him down to the floor, and now it's Imperium holding the advantage inside the ring. And the ref will count now on Joe. We talked about this new side of Imperium in recent times. As now Joe Coffey, though, gets a nice Russian leg sweep. Catches Kaiser coming outside the ring. A nice capitalize on him there. There's now Kaiser on the outside, just going to take his time. Got up to a count of 10, so no rush to get back in the ring. But Joe is with the high ground, and he's going to put Kaiser up on his shoulder and back body drop him in the center of the ring. And Gallus has taken control, but a little small opening allows Giovanni Vinci to tag in. And now the fresher competitors are in. Vinci coming into this match hot with a couple of strikes, drops Mark down to the mat. A nice springboard moonsault off the second rope for good measure. Giovanni Vinci coming in on fire. Gets one before Mark kicks out. Going to do a little bit more to the big boys of Gallus in order to get the victory here. But a good start with Giovanni Vinci. More right hand shots. As Imperium would love to make a statement in this contest. Reverse camel clutch, it looks like. Just hands across the bridge of the nose, cutting off any sort of oxygen circulation there for the big Mark Coffey, but slides out the back door. Has a hold of Vinci now. Going to get him back to his feet and just suplex, a modified suplex there. As Vinci crashes up and over hard. That allows the opportunity for Mark to tag in Joe. This is a very good opportunity for one group to hold momentum, because this is not the only time these two groups will do battle tonight. We will see the undisputed NXT champion crowned in our main event. Gunther is the NXT champion. He is the head of Imperium. And the NXT United Kingdom champion is Wolfgang, the head of Gallus. So whoever wins this match could give their group a little bit of momentum heading into that main event. As though now there's a big double knees to the midsection. Joe Coffey in a lot of trouble here. Kaiser now in the mount position, just straight left-hand shots, working away on his opponent, and just symbolizing the upper hand. He's going to use this opportunity, though, to tag Vinci into this contest. As now Joe, though, ready for him. Catch him with the right hand. And now from behind, goes for a German suplex. Wow. The power on display with that German. Looked like he barely moved a muscle, and Vinci went crashing all the way to the bottom of the mat. But Vinci not going to allow that to take him out of this contest. Kick to the midsection here. Thinking suplex into the powerbomb. Big time move by Vinci there. That could be enough for Imperium to retain the tag team champions. He's trying to drag Joe away from the ropes. Wasting a little bit of time here. It's not easy to get him into position. Now he does. Gets one. Gets two. But Mark is there to break it up. I don't even think he actually got a 2 count on that. But now Marcus dumped to the outside, and now a prime opportunity here for Imperium. Giovanni's got to stay on the offensive. As a nice side slam. No Mark Coffey now to run interference. He's been taken down to the outside. And she's going to wisely tag in Kaiser. And now Kaiser with an opportunity. Just doing a little bit of showboating here. Letting Joe get to his corner as Mark is up on the apron. But Kaiser wisely does cut him off. Tries to isolate one of the competitors. That's basic tag team wrestling. There's now double underhook suplex. Nice butterfly suplex there by Kaiser. And he's going to tag in Vinci. Imperium using a lot of quick tags here. It shows you that they are firmly in control of this contest. There's a reason why they are record tying 3-time tag team champions. Now they send Joe into their own corner. And nice right hand to the throat. Drops Joe in the corner. I think that rocked him, but Joe's going to try to fight out. He's going to try to hang on. Try to make it to his partner here. Kick to the midsection. And Joe just going to swing around Vinci by the head. This is a choke as well as going to make you dizzy. Very effective maneuver by Joe. And that allows him to get the opening. No, he thought about tagging in Mark, but he's actually going to go for a pinfall here. Gets one, gets two, and does kick out of two as Vinci. Maybe if he went for it off of the initial get-go, he might have been able to win the championships there. But nonetheless, he's going to continue the attack. Thought Mark was going to tag in for a moment, but Joe had plans otherwise. Gets Vinci back to his feet, and there's that discus clothesline. Just absolutely rocks Vinci. Now gets two, and Kaiser there for the save. I think that might have been it if Kaiser didn't get involved. And now Ludwig misses the big clothesline attempt. And Joe continuing to attack Vinci, but that gives him an opening. Kaiser, with the momentary distraction, allows Giovanni Vinci to get back to his feet. This is a very back and forth contest here. The tag titles hanging in the balance. Who will be the undisputed tag team champions of NXT? Right now it's Vinci with Joe in his own corner. Trying to decide what position he wants to get him in. Now going to make the tag to Kaiser. Here comes a little bit of tandem offense. Double back body drop, and Joe goes flying. Now it's Ludwig Kaiser's turn to continue this offensive, but Joe's going to make the tag. Kaiser got a little bit overzealous, allows Mark Coffey to get right into this contest, and a big military press showing the power on display. Just drops Kaiser in the mat. This is not what you need. You don't need Gallus to get fired up here. Gets two. This to win the titles, and no. At two, Kaiser kicks out. And that was a big missed opportunity there for Kaiser. You allowed a much fresher Mark to get in, but Mark's got to take advantage. That's what he's trying to do, squeezing at those pressure points of the shoulder of Kaiser. But Vinci is there. He will force the breakup. As now Giovanni got to get out of the ring, though. You run the risk of disqualification if you stay in here too long. As he's up to a count of two, did a little bit of damage. And now he gets to the outside and back to square one. As Mark Coffey is to his feet first. He's got no partner to tag. But Mark's going to get him back up to his feet. Kaiser, pump handle here, pump handles up into the pump handle slam, big time slam there by Mark. Trying to go for the cover here. Is that enough to put away Imperium? No, it's not. It is Giovanni Vinci is there again to break up the cover as this match continues to roll on. It's so hard to isolate one member of these great tag teams. That's what happens when you have peak tag team wrestling. But Mark going to do his very best right here. Drops Vinci, and now both members of Imperium are down. Vinci's going to roll to the outside. So this is actually the opening you need. Take advantage of it if you're Gallus. You're not going to find these very much as Vinci is down. Kaiser just being hammer shots to the forehead. Joe is also down. So it's Mark Coffey versus Ludwig Kaiser right now. And it's Mark, who's currently in control, just wrenching away on the neck of his opponent. He'll get Kaiser back to his feet. No, he's going to fight out of it, and Imperium not going down that easy. Joe is back up on the apron, but it's not looking good right here as Mark gets planted center of the ring. Kaiser goes into the cover now, gets 2, and no. Mark kicks out just in the nick of time. Joey was not going to run interference, it looked like. Instead, he's letting his brother let it do it himself, as right now rear chin lock being applied. Mark's boot is very close to the rope. But now Joe is going to get involved. He realizes his brother is in trouble. He's going to break it up and not run the risk there. But Kaiser has to turn his attention to the other member of the Coffee Brothers. He's going to send a dump into the outside. We're back to mano y mano. And right now it is Imperium who is in control. Kaiser, a couple of stomps to the arm of Mark, who will take advantage of this golden opportunity. Both tag partners are down. Joe is back to his feet. We have not seen Giovanni Vinci get back up to it. And now Kaiser actually going to try to go for a bit of leverage there. Thankfully, Joe is to run interference. I hate to see this one end by way of controversy. This is after I talked up Imperium in their new ways earlier. But here, big time back suplex takes down Kaiser. Mark Coffey just dropped his opponent. Goes for the cover here. Vinci just now getting back to his feet. But no, he wasn't going to get there in time. But Kaiser kicks out on his own. I thought that was going to be it. I didn't think Vinci would get there. But his interference does not matter. Meanwhile, you can see Joe Coffey and Vinci, they've had enough of each other. They're taking it to the outside. There's also action inside the ring. It's starting to turn into chaos here. But Mark, in the opportunity, has a hold of Kaiser and plants him with a sit-out suplex. And now back to his feet now on the outside. Oh my gosh, a shoulder breaker on Vinci. But pump handle has Kaiser, a pump handle slam. Mark with a pump handle slam. Now into the cover. Gets 2. And that is going to be enough. Gallus is your undisputed NXT Tag Team Champions. An incredible back and forth encounter. Had plenty of everything in this tag contest. 2 of the very best going at it. But it is the Coffey Brothers who get the victory and now are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. Gallus fires the first shot tonight. We'll have to see what happens in our main event, but all we know right now is that our undisputed NXT Tag Team Champions now belong to Gallus. Well, up next, we'll see a battle of the 2 most dominant champions in NXT in the past years. We'll decide who will be the unified NXT Women's Champion. And making her way to the ring first, she is the NXT UK Women's Champion. It is none other than the final boss, Miko Satomura. She has been NXT UK Women's Champion for well over a year. Everybody who has stepped up to the plate has fallen to the final boss herself, including back at the Worlds Collide pay-per-view in June. We saw Satomura defend the NXT UK Women's Championship in a great end to her trilogy as she beat Alba Fire, and nobody has been able to solve Satomura since. But tonight she'll face another champion who has been very dominant for almost a year. It is none other than the leader of Toxic Attraction, the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose, who gets ready to make her walk to the ring. No Toxic Attraction at her side tonight, as they have been very vital to her run as champion. Mandy Rose has been almost champion since last October, so almost a year now for the goddess. But Mandy Rose here, just like Satomura, name the competitors: Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Alba Fire, Io Sky. Everybody who stepped up to the plate, Mandy Rose has knocked them off. But tonight, she faces her toughest challenge to date, I would say, as we get ready to crown the unified NXT Women's Champion. The 2 most dominant champions, both on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. This will be a big-time encounter, but let's head into the ring for introductions. Following contest scheduled for one fall is for the Unified NXT Women's Championship. Introducing first, she is the NXT UK Women's Champion, Miko Satomura, and her opponent, the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose. A huge fight here in Orlando, Florida. Who will be the Unified Champion to be the last ever UK Women's Champion and the NXT Women's Champion heading into this new era? That is what it's all about. Somebody's reign has got to give. Will it be Miko Satomura or will it be Mandy Rose? Let's find out. This one is underway. Our co-main event of the evening as both competitors lock up to begin. And it looks like it is Mandy Rose getting the early advantage. She's going to Satomura into the turnbuckle. Well, Mandy, nobody can discredit the reign that she's had. She's knocked off everybody who steps to the plate. But one thing that's interesting tonight is there is no toxic attraction at ringside. We've heard that in all of these contests tonight, there is nobody allowed at ringside, minus Trick Williams in the North American Championship match, but no stablemates are allowed. So that goes for Imperium, Gallus, as well as toxic attraction here. So we ensure a pretty fair fight. As now Mandy Rose has got to do it herself. She's done it before on her own. So this is not discrediting her reign at all, but it's a lot harder when you don't have toxic attraction in your corner. But Mandy Rose, who's had a good start to this match, Satomura now with a little bit of offense. There's a nice DDT and drops Mandy and follows up with double knees for good measure. Satomura over a year-long reign as the NXT UK Women's Champion. It stinks that it has to come to an end by way of unification, but if she can win the NXT Women's Championship, then that reign of holding a title for so many days will continue. It'll just be a different set of gold to put around her waist. There's a reason why we call her the final boss, but can Mandy Rose actually solve the final boss tonight as she gets dumped all the way to the outside? Only a few women hold a pinfall victory over Satomura, and even the one who does, Alba Fire, who did win that first match in their best of 3. Satomura came back and won the next 2, so if you do beat Satomura, she usually comes back around and gets that win back. But Mandy Rose looking to be the exception to that role here tonight as they continue to do battle on the outside. Ref up now to a count of 4. It's just like with the earlier contest, you can win by countouts or disqualification. You will be the undisputed champion. But Mandy realizes she has 5 more seconds to get back in the ring, so not showing any sort of urgency. She'll get back in when she wants, and she will do just that. And Satomura will catch her coming in, but Mandy ready for it. Nice knee to the midsection as she'll send Satomura over the top rope and down to the floor. Mandy, now one to be afraid to talk trash. She'll do just that to her opponent here tonight. Not sure if I'd want to do that against Miko, give her any sort of extra motivation. Satomura will rejoin the ring. Rose is ready for her. There's a big right-hand shot, and she'll take down Satomura. Nice amateur wrestling skills on display there. She'll get Miko back to her feet. From behind now, thinking, a nice inverted, it looks like gut-wrench suplex. Mandy Rose, very much a powerful lady. She's seen her on the cover of her fitness magazines in the past, so not just a sight for sore eyes is Mandy Rose. Here's a couple of right-hand shots to Satomura. Going to go for the first pinfall here of the contest. Put the pressure on, but only gets a 1 count. Mandy Rose, last Halloween Havoc in October, won the championship. So it's been an 11-year reign, or 11-month reign, excuse me, for Mandy Rose. As a jawbreaker on Satomura. The 2 longest reigning champions of the respective brands going at it here tonight. Is now Satomura up. Oh, knee to the top of the head. Nice counter there by the final boss. And a nice scoop slam. Takes down Rose and follows it up with a nice knee drop across the upper part of the chest. And Satomura getting herself fired up here. It's been such a joy to watch the Japan export in these recent couple of occasions. There's a nice suplex. Floats into the cover now. She gets 1. But nope. Mandy Rose able to kick out. You have to do a little bit more than that if you want to beat Mandy Rose, who, unlike Miko, has not seen any sort of blemishes on her record. Nobody has been able to knock off the Florida native. There's knees from Satomura. Those starting to establish her dominance in this contest, but Rose quickly back up to her feet, gets met with a midsection kick and a DDT for good measure. Now into the cover here, Satomura. Nope, but Mandy Rose has a boot underneath the ropes. A nice ring awareness there by the NXT Women's Champion, but Satomura now center of the ring. Armbar is applied. Rose has got to get out of this in a quick, or you're going to risk a dislocation of sorts. Satomura does release the hold instead, just going to go right back to it, try to reposition herself. Mandy Rose could be in a lot of trouble here, very far away from the ropes. And she'll wisely flip through and take Satomura down with the head scissors. Very nice counter there by Rose. Is Mandy the sole champion as well in Toxic Attraction. We saw the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions retain earlier tonight, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Well, they beat Gigi Dolan and JC Dane for those titles. So Mandy Rose now still the leader of Toxic Attraction with the gold, but are the cracks being shown in the armor of the dominant women's trio? I don't know if Mandy Rose has anything to say about it. There's a nice backbreaker, but Miko's quickly back to her feet, catches Rose off guard, and another nice scoop slam. Can't keep Satomura down for long. Can't turn your eyes off of your competitor, especially in such a big fight like this. I know it's used to talking that trash, as there's a nice PLE kick. You got to keep your eye on the prize. That could have turned the lights out of Mandy Rose. Satomura is not going to try for a pinfall here. She gets one, she gets two, and no, Mandy Rose still alive in this contest. Looked like that Pele kick connected right in between the eyes. And Satomura went to the corner, thought about something. Instead, it's going to come back to Mandy, put her right back down, and now is going to try to line her up. Is she going to go for this enziguri shot? Rose back to her feet, stumbling around the ring. Satomura has her lined up. She's going to step through, and a nice shot to the back of the neck. We saw Seth Rollins utilize that earlier in the night. Satomura trying to win the championship off that same maneuver. Gets two, but no. Mandy Rose shoots the left shoulder off the mat. And this one will continue. It's been all Satomura here in the past couple of minutes. Mandy Rose had a very good start to the matchup, but this is where your championship endurance and resiliency has got to show in the face of adversity. And Satomura now targeting the lower body of Mandy Rose, trying to take out those powerful legs of the NXT Women's Champion. Just knee strikes to the legs and the thighs and the calves. Now just applying the double boots in the corner, all of the pressure underneath the neck of Rose, and the double knees for good measure. This is what makes Miko Satomura oh so dangerous. Doesn't matter what part of the ring you're in, Satomura has a piece of offense for it. She's just wearing away. Another knee to the spine. Oh, there's a big kick from Rose. That could be the opportunity she needs. As now she's trying to get herself back in it, but Satomura quickly from behind, as there's a reverse suplex. Takes down Rose. And now Satomura talking a little bit of trash to Mandy Rose, giving her a little taste of her own medicine. Every single time Mandy has gotten some sort of offense in, started to build some momentum, it has been her mouth that's got her back on the defensive. Satomura has not stood for any of that trash talk, and now again is tying up that left arm that she's been doing damage to all match, and continues to stretch her out, bending away at the finger joints. And then with a nice double knees for good measure, but Rose taking a lot of damage to all of those joints, her legs and her arms. Satomura could be closing in on a victory here. More double knees to the rib cage. This has just been a phenomenal display, and now Satomura could be lining her up for a kill shot here. She's going to flip through, but Mandy Rose counters with a nice clothesline. That was the good right arm that Rose was able to use, and she connects with that toxic knee. Mandy Rose out of nowhere could win the championship here. Gets two, but no. Satomura is able to get a shoulder up. When Rose fired her best shot, Satomura survived it. Needed a little bit more punishment behind that. Now thinking double underhook into the facebuster. Rose with two big shots there. Satomura definitely reeling here. And if you're Mandy, you go to it again. Another knee. Satomura is down into the cover. Gets one, two, and no. Satomura at the last possible moment gets the right shoulder up. Rose thought she had three. I thought she did as well. A second knee right on the jaw. but is unable to win her the championship. Satomura stays alive, but Mandy Rose now firmly in the driver's seat, telling Satomura that this one is over. Gets her back to her feet. Satomura able to send Rose into the corner, and more strikes to those lower legs, trying to take out that knee. She doesn't want to suffer a third one of those knees on the button. It could really very much turn her lights out. There's now Rose down in the corner. Satomura continuing the pressure, going to go for the pinfall here. Close to the rope is Rose. She actually has a hold of the bottom rope, but the ref doesn't see it, and that's a 3 count. Miko Satomura gets the win, but Mandy Rose had that arm on the ropes that should have been a rope break, but the referee did not see it. And we have a new undisputed NXT Women's Champion, and it is the final boss, Miko Satomura. Well, obviously some controversy to the end of this match, but a hard-fought victory nonetheless for Miko Satomura. We'll have to see what is next for both of these ladies following that finish. Well, it's unfortunate that the ref did not see it, but nonetheless, it is time for our main event of the evening, the last championship that is yet to be unified. And making his way to the ring first for this encounter, it is the NXT United Kingdom Champion, the leader of Gallus himself, Wolfgang. We saw his Gallus stablemates pick up the NXT Tag Team Championships earlier in the night. Will Wolfgang follow the same route and win the NXT Championship? Boy, tough son of a gun is this man. Gallus is full of bruisers, and now you have the leader of that group, and he has no love lost for Imperium, as we've talked about their history in the past, all the way dating back to the Worlds Collide pay-per-view. And Gallus would love a clean sweep tonight to right the wrong of losing that 6-man match back at the PLE. But it's not going to be easy, as he's facing a red-hot NXT champion, the leader of Imperium. And it is Gunther. As there he is, the big Austrian, with the gold around his waist draped in his signature red cloak. He has been pretty dominant in recent times. Won that championship from Braun Baker back at the NXT Great American Bash TV special. Has a successful title defense last month against JD McDonough at Heatwave. And Gunther, not showing any signs of slowing down, wants to be the undisputed champion here tonight. 2 big horses getting ready to go at it. This one is not going to be easy. It is going to be a slugfest, to say the least. But if anybody is ready for a slugfest, it is Wolfgang, and it is the Ring General. It's all come down to this, as Gunther makes his way to the ring. Can he notch another successful title defense and unify a title that Gunther once held? You don't gotta wait long. It is the time for our main event, the undisputed NXT Championship. Let's head down to the ring for championship introductions. Following contest scheduled for one fall is for the Unified NXT Championship. Introducing first, he is the United Kingdom Champion, Wolfgang. And his opponent, he is the NXT Champion, Gunther. This is our main event of Clash of Champions, the 4th championship tonight that will be unified. Will it be Wolfgang or will it be Gunther? We don't gotta wait long. That is what it's all about. The NXT title. NXT UK officially comes to a close. Will it be Wolfgang or will it be Gunther, who will be the top male superstar going into this new era? Let's find out, as it is time, and Gunther, with the early advantage, has a hold of Wolfgang from behind and connects with a reverse uppercut, takes down the leader of Gallus. We've touched on it multiple times tonight, as there's a nice DDT. Good counteraction there from Wolfgang. He gets the first upper hand of his part of the night, and now just raining down left shots. Talked about And this is going to be a hard hitter. Both these superstars known for their very physical offense. As Gunther just shrugs away Wolfgang. Again, just shrugs away Wolfgang. And you just see just two huge behemoths. Wolfgang actually with the size, tall, height advantage in this one. Well, Gunther, though, drops him across the top rope. Going to go for the first pinfall. Here it is. It's Gunther who only gets a count of 1. But both these superstars we saw earlier in the night, Gallus, get the first victory in the tag match. Can they get all the titles? Or will Gunther keep the top prize in Imperium's hands? Right now he's about to be submitted here by Wolfgang, who traps him with an arm across the throat. Gunther is a very large individual. He's close to the ropes, but he's not going to actually grab the ropes. Instead, he's going to use his elbow, and he will fight out of it. As both superstars make their way back up to their feet, there is a nice just tossing Wolfgang aside is Gunther. But Wolfgang quickly sends Gunther into the far turnbuckle. And just there's those Muay Thai knee strikes into the lower body of Gunther. We know he loves to use that power bomb. Well, if you take out the lower section, you take out a lot of that breathing room required. As Wolfgang with a head of steam now drives the boot into the side of the face of the big Austrian. It's very brutal offense there by Wolfgang. No love lost between these two individuals. So now just taking out the lower body of Gunther as Wolfgang firmly in control of this one, but Gunther able to roll him over and get a couple of good shots in. He's just seen hard right hands, kicks on display early. Now it's Wolfgang back to his feet, and he's going to let Gunther know, try to play the mind games here, get into the leader of Imperium as there's a giant knee strike right on the jaw. And Gunther could be rocked here. Wolfgang with a big opportunity. He's going to connect with a couple of more strikes, back up the NXT champion at a DDT. How good does the United Kingdom champion look? Wolfgang won that championship on a recent episode of NXT UK. He won a 8-man battle royal to win the vacant title, which earned him a ticket to this matchup, and then recently just picked up a win over Tyler Bate on the last ever episode of NXT UK, as Gunther only gets a 2. So Wolfgang is on quite a roll going into this point. He's in tip-top shape, his best form, but so is Gunther. Talked about the title defense against JD McDonough. Beat Braun Breaker in the first place to win that championship. Braun is now currently on Raw. So Gunther's had very much a hot summer of his own. As he kicked to the midsection, now just ragdolls again. Wolfgang across the ring. From behind, he's going to send him flying with a German suplex. And Gunther, who actually is a former United Kingdom champion, had a dominant reign for NXT UK, the longest reigning United Kingdom champion in that title's history. He'd love to also be the last and a 2-time champion. He gets Wolfgang back to his feet, a hard chop across the chest again. And Gunther's going to put Wolfgang against the ropes. What's he got in store here? Just going to tie up that left arm. And more methodical offense now from the NXT champion. As catches him with a nice exploder suplex. Caught Wolfgang going in for the clothesline. Nice maneuver there by the big Austrian. And now Gunther trying to drag Wolfgang into a position. Going to apply some more pressure here with the cover. Gets 1, gets 2, and there's a kick out at 2. What a successful night it's been for the NXT audience. Our last ever episode of WWE 2k22. Championships have been unified. We've seen an all-time classic here in the series between Rollins and Bate. And now we're deciding the NXT champion going into this new era, as Wolfgang with another knee strike underneath the jaw. He'd love to be the NXT UK leader going into this new era. And it's just more bulldog type knees to the side of the temple. This is not pretty offense, but it's very effective. He has Gunther reeling. Now just hammering away on the lower back. You gotta chop down the big redwood when you can. And he's gonna tie him down again. Left arm behind the back, just stretching out. There's the joints on display. The nice knees into the back. And Wolfgang has looked very good here. So it's a shame that somebody has to go down, but that's what it's going to take to be the unified champ. Wolfgang now gets Gunther back to his feet, but he gets a hold of him, trying to create a little bit of separation, whoops him into the turnbuckle, and there's those big Gunther chops across the chest, 2 of them, and a nice open hand chop. That drops Wolfgang to a seated position in the corner. Those are deadly palm strikes. Gunther known for the most devastating chop in the business. We see it on display there, as now he's actually going to go for a cover here. He gets one, and Wolfgang powers out at 1. A tough barroom brawler is the United Kingdom champion. And we're seeing it on display here. He's back to his feet. Gunther's going to go underneath. There's, a left-hand shot. Gunther trying to create a little bit of separation. I think that might have got to the champ. But instead, it's going to put him up on his shoulder. And he's going to dump him all the way to the outside. I thought he was going to hang him up. But instead, Gunther dumps him all the way to the floor. And that'll definitely create the separation that you need. But Gunther not going to allow any time for rest. He's going to follow to the outside, and there's a nice seated senton across the chest. And Gunther's showing the fans here in Orlando, Florida, that he is the most dominant champion here in NXT. As he goes for a suplex here on the outside, and he will connect down to the soft padding below. Not a lot underneath that padding. You can see on the other side of the barricade, it's nothing but solid concrete. Wolfgang fighting back here. Like I say, he's a tough fighter. Ref up to a count of 5. Drop kick to the left knee. Doesn't even phase Gunther, it seemed like. But how about a leg sweep for good measure? That'll help. And then a couple of right-hand shots for good measure. Just back and forth, bruiser style of offense here. And the ref with a count of 7. Wolfgang will throw Gunther back inside the ring. And we do return inside the ropes of the squared circle. More right-hand, left-hand shots. That bags Gunther against the ropes. What does Wolfgang have in mind here? He's just going to go for more of these Muay Thai strikes, tying up Gunther in between the ropes. Not a bad strategy. And now what could be lining him up for one more, and a big boot. Down goes Gunther all the way to the floor, right on the chin. And Wolfgang setting the dominance here, but just like earlier, he's not going to allow Gunther to get some space. Both superstars doing a very good job and not allowing the other one to breathe. There's a nice thrust kick. Continue to do battle on the outside, wrenching away. This has not been pretty. Gunther having to fight his way in this one. We've seen both superstars take this kind of punishment before and still come out on top. Ref up to a count of 4. Wolfgang sizing him up for his next move as he gets a hold of him here, but there's a nice knee into the midsection. Gunther trying to reverse it with some space. Double underhook now. Butterfly suplex. Again tossing Wolfgang down to the padding below. That's going to start to take a toll on your lower back. And the NXT champion just going to use this time to get some rest in the corner. There's ref up to a count of 7 here. Wolfgang only on one knee. And he gets in at about a count of 8, but Gunther is right there to greet him. And got to go for another one of these chops across the chest. That wasn't even a chop. That was just a straight clubbing right. And Gunther now, just like earlier, he's going to use the ropes, but the ref does see it. We saw Imperium try the same thing earlier in that NXT Championship match for the tag titles. A little bit of desperation being on display here from Imperium. Gallus taking it to the longtime faction. And allowed Wolfgang to get the upper hand. The ref catching Gunther in the treachery. A couple of body shots. And another knee for good measure. We've seen a lot of these shots to that lower abdomen. Starting to take its toll. Well, goes for a big right hand. Gunther able to counter, but a kick to the midsection again slows him down. And this time, Gunther's going to put him up on his shoulders. And a big knee to Gunther. That could have turned his lights out. And now Wolfgang, he's going to use the ropes of his own. The ref doesn't see this one, but Gunther able to throw him off. Wolfgang trying to give Gunther a taste of his own medicine. I thought he would crown him the champion, but he's able to kick out. Ref did not see the foot underneath the ropes. It's been a very kind of shady night. We've seen a lot of ropes being used, whether it be to break up pins or to use them to their advantage. The ref hasn't always caught them. We saw Mandy Rose just a match ago lose the match even though she had her hand on the bottom ropes. We'll have to get more on that situation in the coming weeks for NXT, but right now, two big behemoths continuing to trade shots. It's Wolfgang now coming up in a hand, backhand fist. Again, he's got Gunther tied up in the ropes. really using every inch of this ring. Is the United Kingdom champion. And here comes the NXT champion. A couple of overhand palm strikes, kick to the midsection, another clubbing bro, this time across the back. Just hard-hitting smash mouth tile of offense. Both these superstars are going to need an ice bath after this one is done, regardless of who comes out the victor. And right now it's hard to tell who will be the victor, as now it's going to be Gunther, though, trying to get the victory here, but wastes a little bit of time. Ref a little slow to get in position. Allows Wolfgang to kick out. Now a couple of hard elbow strikes. Again, Gunther backed into the corner. And again, up on the shoulders, going for this big knee on the button, and it connects. Gunther lights out down in the center of the ring, but Wolfgang's wasting some time here. He could have the title won, but he's not going for the cover. I don't know why. Gunther has not moved since taking that move. And Wolfgang, just a very odd strategy here. I don't know if he's very confident in himself or what. But now Gunther's starting to get back to his feet. Wolfgang with a huge missed opportunity there. And Gunther's going to take advantage. He's going to dump him up over the top ropes. Wolfgang hangs on the apron. There's a right hand shot. Another one. And now Gunther, what's he got in mind here? This is not where you want to be. The hardest part of the ring on display as there's a back suplex right across the spine. And Gunther now in control. This match could come down to that one moment. A second knee on the jaw. And Wolfgang does not capitalize. Now it's Gunther's turn to apply some heavy-hitting offense. Another kick to the midsection. Another chop. Gunther going to bring inside the ring. You can't win the championship on the outside, but you can definitely lose it on the outside. I suppose superstars look for some damage, not able to get it, but it will be Wolfgang who plants him with the flatliner. That could be the opening that needs for the Gallus leader. Goes for a back hammer fist, and he does that spinning back fist connect. We saw Gunther just got knocked off his feet. How many more shots can a man take of these calibers? Oh my gosh, Wolfgang just got turned inside out with a clothesline. Gunther connected, went for a haymaker of a shot, and it landed in another stiff clothesline. Wolfgang could be out of it. Gunther to unify the championships. No. Wolfgang still in this contest. Gunther can't believe it. Both men taking a lot of punishment here. But it's Gunther to his feet first. Wolfgang whipped into the far turnbuckle. Sharp chop across the chest. Wolfgang fights out of it. Knee strike. Kicks. More punches. Another combination of strikes. Down he goes to his knees. And again, he gets dropped. Wolfgang definitely getting the better of these striking combinations. Gunther with most known for those chops, but he hasn't been able to get it. And now Wolfgang has him down on the mat, twisting away at those wrist joints again. I mean, this has just been a clinic from both superstars on how to bring punishment inside these ropes. They're beating the holy heck out of each other. Somebody has to walk away. The unified champion. It could be Wolfgang here, trapping him again in this submission, using Gunther's own arm against him. Will he tap out? It's cinched in, not really close to the ropes. Gunther refuses the tap. But now Wolfgang went for the pin, but actually playing a little bit of possum. Here's Gunther. He gets him back to his feet, dragging Wolfgang to the corner. And this time, what does Gunther have in mind here? Gets him in the turnbuckle. And now he's going to climb to the top rope. This is unfamiliar territory for Gunther. He's going to pull Wolfgang up with them. Is he thinking powerbomb from the top rope? An avalanche powerbomb. Down goes Wolfgang all the way from the top rope. Gunther into position, gets one, gets two, and that'll be it. A avalanche powerbomb is what it takes to seal the deal. And there you have it. After a hard-hitting clash, it is Gunther who walks away the unified NXT champion after that avalanche powerbomb. What a hard-hitting affair that was. Welts on display for both men. Ice in the future. But it is Gunther who walks away the unified NXT champion. He will lead them into this new era for the brand. And folks, that is going to be it. Clash of Champions is over. Our time on WWE 2k22 is over. I thank you guys so much for this ride. It's been so much fun, but there's so much more to get through. I will see you guys on WWE 2k23.